And good Monday morning to you, everyone. Welcome back. Man, what a hectic, but really good weekend. Hope you had the same. Thank you for joining me again here this Monday morning for Morning Musings. My name is Don K. Preston, and I'm the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. And I've been talking about John Hagee and his false predictions. Well, as promised, I want to get back to the study of the parables, but in doing so, on today's segment, I want to point out how the parables completely, totally, utterly refute John Hagee. Needless to say, John Hagee is a Zionist of the nth degree. To him, Israel is everything. He is on record as saying, it is worthless, it is fruitless to even try to convert the Jews. They have their own covenant with Yahweh. They do not need the gospel of Jesus Christ. Well, nothing could be more abhorrent. John Hagee has obviously never read Jesus and never read Paul, never read Peter, as Peter was the apostle to the circumcision to bring them to Christ. Paul went to the Jew first to offer them the gospel, the power of God to salvation, Romans 1:16 and 17. And Jesus, of course, said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. So here is John Hagee, who puts all of the emphasis on what he claims to be national Israel, which cannot even be proven, by the way. And yet, when we look at the parables of Jesus, we see that Jesus himself foretold the time in which national Israel was to be destroyed, never to rise again. Do you catch the power of that? In Luke chapter 13, and we have to see the context here. In Luke 13, Jesus is approached by some people, and they tell him about the Galileans who had been killed by Pilate. And Pilate says, well, do you suppose that these Galileans, whose blood Pilate mixed with their sacrifices, do you suppose they were greater sinners than all of those in Jerusalem? No. Verily I say to you, except you repent, you shall all likewise perish. And those upon whom the tower of Siloam fell and killed them, do you suppose they were greater sinners than all of those in Jerusalem? No. Verily I say unto you, except you repent, you will all likewise perish. Now watch then. He immediately tells the parable. He spoke unto them a parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came seeking fruit on it and found none. Then he said to the keeper of the vineyard, look, for 3 years I've come seeking fruit on this fig tree and find none. Cut it down. Why does it use up, literally, waste the ground? But he said to him, sir, let it alone this year also until I can dig around it and fertilize it. And if it bears fruit, well, but if not, after that, you can cut it down. In Matthew chapter 21 and 19, Jesus approached a fig tree seeking fruit, and he found none. And he cursed that fig tree, and he said, you will never bear fruit again. Is there any question that Jesus was referring to Israel? That's certainly what it was in Luke chapter 13. And by the way, this harkens back to Jeremiah chapter 8. Don't forget now, Jeremiah and Jesus are counterparts. Jeremiah foreshadowed Jesus. This has been understood in the scholarly literature forever. And Jeremiah castigated Judah and Jerusalem of his day, and Yahweh said to them, speaking of the, quote, time of visitation, the time of their punishment. And he said, surely I will come to you, I will come against you, and your vineyards will bear no fruit, your fig tree will bear no figs and I will take away those things which I have given to you. That's Luke 13. Now, John Hagee says Israel is the fig tree. Says Israel was restored in 1948. Folks, Jesus said to the fig tree, you will bear no fruit again, period. Luke 13 said the fig tree would be cut down. And Jeremiah, the counterpart of Jesus, said the fig tree would bear no fruit, and the things that had been given to her would be taken from her. There is no way to get a restoration of Judah out of the parable of the fig tree. There is no support for Zionism in Jesus' teaching on the fig tree. The fig tree was to be cut down. And as Malachi said, destroying both root and branch. Well, if you destroy the root, there is no fig tree. Zionism and John Hagee are completely falsified by Jesus' parable of the fig tree in Luke chapter 13. Hey, listen, go to my website. Joel McDermott has written a great little book on Jesus v. Jerusalem. Joel McDermott examines the parables of Jesus and shows that in Luke, the parables serve as a lawsuit against Judah and Jerusalem. He does a magnificent job in this book demonstrating how Jesus was bringing a lawsuit of condemnation against Judah and Jerusalem that would lead to their utter destruction in AD 70. It really is a fine book in demonstrating that. Now, he has some futurist material in the very back of it that you will find extremely easy to dismiss and to see the fallacy of it, but don't worry about that. Worry about the excellent material that he has on the parables of Jesus. Go to my website, eschatology.org, BibleProphecy.com, order the book, Jesus v. Jerusalem, include a note that says, you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll refund your shipping, and that will save you $5. Hey, we've got more on the parables of Jesus and how they refute modern futurism on the flip side. So we'll see you there.